What if I told you that your destiny is not hidden in the grand moments of life, but in the small decisions you make every single day? What if the greatness you are waiting for is already being decided in the quiet choices you think no one sees? The way you rise in the morning, the way you discipline your mind, the way you choose between distraction and focus. You keep looking for one giant leap that will change your life forever, but hear me. Life doesn't change in a leap, it changes in steps. Small daily steps. Your habits are shaping you even when you are not paying attention. Every action you repeat is a seed. And seeds do not stay seeds. They grow, they multiply, they become trees that shape the entire landscape of your life. The question is not whether habits are powerful. The question is, what kind of seeds are you planting? Some of you are waiting for transformation, but you are watering the wrong seeds. You cannot plant carelessness and expect excellence. You cannot plant procrastination and expect progress. You cannot plant comfort and expect greatness. The strength of habits is not in their size, but in their repetition. It is not the one workout that changes your health. It is the discipline to move daily. It is not the one act of kindness that shapes your character. It is the spirit of compassion practiced consistently. And it is not the single prayer or meditation that grounds your soul. It is the daily returning to stillness, choosing to center yourself again and again. Small disciplines create unshakable lives. But here is where many fail. They are attached to results, addicted to speed. They want to see change now, evidence now, reward now. And when they don't, they quit. Yet the truth is this: results never show up at the pace of your impatience. They reveal themselves at the pace of your consistency. That is why detachment is essential. You must learn to separate yourself from the hunger for instant gratification and fall in love with the process itself. The discipline to do what is necessary today, without the need for immediate reward, is the sign of true strength. Do not underestimate the compounding effect of small actions. A drop of water may seem powerless, but when it falls day after day, it carves valleys through stone. In the same way, the small disciplines of your life are carving the shape of your destiny. A book read for 10 minutes daily becomes a library of wisdom over time. A decision to save a small amount each day becomes wealth. A choice to focus for 1 hour daily becomes mastery. What feels insignificant today becomes unstoppable tomorrow. Your habits are not just actions, they are spiritual training. They are not only shaping your body and mind, they are aligning your soul with purpose. They are teaching you to master yourself, to silence impulses, to detach from emotions that pull you away from clarity. Each small act of discipline is a reminder that you are not a slave to desire, but a leader of destiny. So understand this: life is not built in the spotlight, it is built in the shadows of repetition. Your greatness is not waiting for one defining moment, it is waiting for you in the ordinary choices of today. The habits you are faithful to in silence will one day speak so loudly they cannot be ignored. The small becomes the great, the invisible becomes the undeniable, and the simple becomes the legacy that outlives you. Consistency has always outweighed intensity when it comes to lasting transformation. A single burst of effort, no matter how powerful, cannot build the foundation of a life. It is the steady rhythm of repeated action that carves new patterns into the soul. Many people wait for the moment of inspiration, the wave of motivation that pushes them to act, but motivation fades quickly and inspiration is fleeting. What truly carries a person forward is the quiet, almost unnoticed commitment to show up again and again, even when there is no applause, even when there are no immediate results. The beauty of consistency is that it builds trust, trust within yourself. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you prove to your heart and mind that you are dependable. That trust becomes the soil in which confidence grows. It is not the grand gestures of change that build identity, but the repeated actions that reinforce who you are becoming. A person who runs one marathon cannot call themselves a runner, but the one who runs each morning, no matter how short the distance, becomes one without effort. Intensity often burns bright but dies quickly, while consistency is a steady flame that lights the path long after others have gone dark. Think of the sculptor. One strike of a chisel does not create the masterpiece, but thousands of careful, persistent strikes reveal beauty hidden within the stone. So it is with life. Your greatness is not hidden in one moment of explosive effort, but in the pattern of daily actions. The quiet choice to be faithful to your process, to keep walking even when the journey feels slow, is what transforms potential into destiny. Habits are not just routines, they are silent architects of destiny. Every small choice you make, every repeated action, every decision in the unseen hours of your life is building the structure of who you are becoming. Many people imagine their lives will be changed by one grand opportunity, but in truth, it is the daily habits that shape character, sharpen focus, and align the heart with purpose. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. The power of habits lies in their ability to function quietly, often without resistance, because they no longer demand heavy willpower once they are ingrained. What begins as a conscious effort becomes an unconscious rhythm, and that rhythm creates the direction of your life. If your habits are aligned with growth, strength, and discipline, then your life will naturally gravitate toward excellence. If your habits are born of laziness, distraction, and compromise, then your life will drift toward mediocrity without you even noticing. The key is to understand that each habit is a seed. You may not see its fruit immediately, but in time, the harvest will be undeniable. A habit of reading daily may not make you wise tomorrow, but in a year, it will transform the way you think. A habit of gratitude may feel small today, but in months, it will reshape your heart and perspective. Habits are the invisible forces that carry you toward your destiny, and by shaping them intentionally, you take control of the direction of your life. It is not luck nor sudden miracles, but the compounded effect of daily choices that unlock the fullness of who you are meant to be. The smallest actions often hold the greatest power, not because they produce immediate visible change, but because they accumulate quietly over time, shaping your reality in ways you may not recognize until much later. A single glass of water each morning seems insignificant, but over months it nurtures health and vitality. Writing one page a day feels like nothing in the moment, yet a year later it becomes a book. Smiling at one stranger might appear meaningless, but that small kindness can ripple into a chain of hope you will never see. This is the secret of compound effects, the truth that tiny, consistent actions magnify into extraordinary results. Most people underestimate small beginnings because they are blinded by the need for instant gratification. They dismiss the little steps, believing that only big, dramatic actions bring transformation. But life is not changed by a single leap. It is reshaped by countless steps taken faithfully in the same direction. A drop of water may seem powerless, but over time it carves valleys through stone. The danger lies in underestimating the weight of repetition. Neglecting small positive actions can be just as powerful as practicing them. For in the same way that daily discipline builds strength, daily neglect creates weakness. The little choices you make each day are either constructing your future or dismantling it. The discipline to honor these small actions is not glamorous, but it is the most reliable path to greatness. What you do in the silence of your ordinary days is writing the story of your extraordinary future. Each small step, though invisible to the world, is a sacred investment in the person you are becoming. When multiplied over time, the little things prove to be the big things. Discipline is not about denying yourself joy. It is about creating the framework that allows true joy, growth, and freedom to flourish. Habits are the invisible threads that weave the fabric of discipline into your life. When you commit to a habit, you are training not just your body, but also your mind and spirit to honor structure over chaos, intention over impulse. Discipline is not born in grand battles of willpower, but in the daily decision to remain faithful to a routine, even when it feels inconvenient or unnoticed. Each habit you build is like a brick laid in the foundation of your character. One habit may seem small, but over time, the structure it creates becomes unshakable. A leader is not formed in a moment of crisis, but in the quiet moments of discipline that prepare them long before challenges arrive. The person who has learned to control their morning, who has trained themselves to focus, who has practiced the art of patience through small daily rituals, becomes unmovable when storms arise. Discipline through habits also teaches you the power of detachment. Instead of being ruled by fleeting emotions or external circumstances, you become guided by principle and consistency. This steadiness becomes a source of inner strength, the kind that cannot be shaken by praise or broken by criticism. It is through disciplined habits that confidence is built, because you learn that you can trust yourself to show up, to follow through, to endure. Discipline is freedom disguised as structure. When your habits align with your vision, you no longer live at the mercy of distractions or procrastination. Instead, you take command of your days, and in doing so, you take command of your destiny. The beauty of transformation is that it does not reveal itself in the rush of a single day, but in the quiet unfolding of many days lived with intention. Patience becomes the silent companion of growth, teaching you that what is planted today may not be seen tomorrow, but in time it will bear fruit. Small daily habits are like seeds buried in the soil. They demand faith, persistence, and the humility to trust the process even when there is no immediate evidence of change. Most people give up too soon, abandoning the habits because they do not see instant results. But true transformation is invisible before it becomes undeniable. Just as the roots of a tree grow deep in silence before its branches touch the sky, your habits work beneath the surface long before the world sees their effect. Patience allows you to endure this hidden season, to trust that each repetition is shaping your future in ways not yet visible. Consistency without patience creates frustration, but consistency with patience builds unshakable strength. Every act of waiting with faith refines your character and deepens your resilience. It is in the waiting that you learn detachment from quick rewards and discover the joy of building something lasting. Transformation is not rushed, it is cultivated. When you honor patience, you release the anxiety of timelines and embrace the certainty that steady progress will always lead to results. This quiet endurance becomes a source of power, for while others are chasing shortcuts, you are building something that will stand the test of time. True change comes to those who not only practice small daily habits, but also honor the patience required to see them bloom. Your environment is the silent force shaping your habits, either nurturing them or choking them before they grow. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you occupy, and the energy you allow into your life either strengthen your discipline or sabotage it. Habits do not thrive in isolation. They are influenced and reinforced by the atmosphere you create around you. If you surround yourself with distraction, negativity, and chaos, even the strongest intentions will wither. But when you create an environment of order, encouragement, and purpose, your habits find the soil to take root and flourish. Every detail matters. The books you place within reach, the music you allow into your ears, the conversations you entertain, all of these quietly mold your thoughts and choices. If you desire growth, then your environment must reflect growth. If you desire peace, then your space must reflect peace. Too often, people attempt to build new habits while living in the same spaces with the same influences that once fueled their struggles. Change is not just about what you do, but about what you allow to surround and guide you daily. Your environment also extends to the company you keep. Relationships are powerful mirrors, and they either pull you upward or keep you stagnant. Aligning yourself with those who value discipline, integrity, and purpose makes it easier to sustain the habits that will transform your life. Habits are contagious, and when you walk with the disciplined, their rhythm becomes yours. Transformation is not just the result of willpower, but of designing a life that supports who you are becoming. By intentionally shaping your environment, you remove unnecessary resistance and create a space where your small daily habits can breathe, grow, and ultimately transform your destiny. Every habit you practice is more than an action. It is a declaration of who you are becoming. Small daily choices, repeated over time, carve your identity into stone. When you choose discipline over laziness, growth over comfort, faith over fear, you are shaping the narrative of your character. It is not the occasional grand decision that defines you, but the steady rhythm of repeated choices that write the truth of who you are. Identity is not something you stumble upon. It is something you build through the habits you embody. When you commit to positive habits, you are training your mind to believe in your own strength. Each time you rise early, follow through on a task, or honor a commitment, you prove to yourself that you are trustworthy. This self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Without it, doubt reigns. With it, you walk with quiet authority. Your habits become a mirror, reflecting back the person you are sculpting day by day. But the danger is just as real in the opposite direction. Negative habits do not simply waste time. They slowly dismantle your self-belief and corrode your character. Skipping commitments, indulging in distractions, or abandoning discipline feeds the identity of someone who cannot be relied upon. And over time, you begin to live according to that identity, settling for less than the greatness within you. The power of habits, then, is not simply in what they accomplish, but in who they cause you to become. Each small act is a brushstroke on the canvas of your identity. When you choose wisely, you are not only achieving results, you are transforming into the kind of person capable of carrying the weight of your destiny. The life you dream of is not hidden in distant tomorrows. It is being built in the choices you make today. Greatness is not born in sudden breakthroughs, but in the faithfulness of showing up again and again for the habits that seem small but carry eternal weight. Every glass of water, every page read, every step taken, every promise kept is a brick laid in the foundation of the future you desire. Do not despise the small beginnings, for they are the sacred whispers of transformation. The person you long to become is waiting on the other side of your daily disciplines. If you honor the process, if you stay consistent, if you remain detached from impatience and distractions, you will discover that the extraordinary is nothing more than the ordinary done faithfully. Your destiny is not waiting for a miracle. It is waiting for your habits to align with your purpose. Choose them wisely, for they are shaping not just your days, but your very identity and the legacy you will leave behind.